Good evening, Venerable.
Hi there, it's your Kopi Uncle Nicky here.
Hello, my name is JK, back for some discussion during my school holiday.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the feisty superpower achiever, Kenny Tan.
Yes, good evening everyone and welcome back. Today is a very special day. Yes, it is our graduation day. It's our last session. Very excited to see you all back. And I have a few questions to ask you guys. Are you guys ready?
Yes, Venerable.
For the first question. After the past VenTalk, what is the change in your priority order in your life? Uncle Nicky.
Okay, I shall go first. I think for this question, instead of achieving only a calm and peaceful mind and spending quality time with my kids, I am looking for something better with the remaining time that I have. After being aware of the three types of happy realms and miserable realms, I know I need to change to a new priority order, which is a better future rebirth. The human life of leisure and opportunity. This is my only main priority now.
It's not too late for us to change. We still have a long way to go because all of us has infinite lives. We can start from now by changing our thoughts. Try to think positive and help as many people as possible. Our favorite boy, how about you?
Van John, remembering in the first episode of VenTalk, I talked about so many things that I wanted to accomplish in life, as I'm still young. Venerable advice to us was to write down all of the important things in life, then put the most important thing at the top of the list. Besides that, Venerable also mentioned that we should do things that will benefit us for the long term and shouldn't put too much focus on the short term interest. So, recalling back, I have never decided on the order of the things I wanted to do before I joined the class, as I feel that I have many years to come. Another thing I realized is that I never listed learning the teachings as the thing I want to do in life. But having gone through 5 sessions of VenTalk and having benefited from the discussions we had, I aspire to learn all the teachings taught by the Buddha as one of my top priority, and one day be able to facilitate classes for all the youths who wants to learn the teachings, just like what Uncle Nicky's children are doing right now. So, in the last episode, we talked about compassion and a meaningful life. Knowing that the teachings can give me happiness and take away suffering, it will be great if I can play a part to help others as well. How about you, Kenny?
Nice aspiration, JK. Before I joined this class, my priorities in life revolve around cash, car, credit card, condo, and country club. I was mostly focused on material well being, and during this journey, feelings of my family and friends may get neglected, as I thought that by bringing them more allowance or dining at a high end restaurant would bring them happiness. The concept of infinite lives never crossed my mind, and it was easier to believe that heng sui or luck, together with hard work and determination, were the factors that influence our path ahead. Then again, if there's only this one life, why do we bother to get angry at people, create so much stress for ourselves at work, and drag our tiring soul around all day just to find that everything returns back to zero when we pass on? From episodes 2 and 3, we also learn about the existence of 6 different realms and how having a life of leisure and opportunity is so rare. It's like the dust trapped between our fingernails versus soil on this earth. There are so many benefits when it comes to becoming a human. We can think and decide on what we want to do or what we do not want to engage in, compared to animals who have to be on their feet 24/7, or even being limited to what they can eat. Knowing the laws of karma helped me greatly in terms of understanding how what we plant is what we sow. If we plant an apple seed with the right conditions, we get a tree that bears us apples. Knowing that life is infinite and having a life of leisure and opportunity is what I aspire to have life after life. I should work hard and continuously plant the right seed that secures that next life. Definitely, This journey, as with everything in life, involves a teacher, a person who has already reached the destination and has all the wisdom to lead you ahead. This is why, as a Buddhist, taking refuge in the triple gem comes naturally with the fear that I will end up in the miserable realms and that they can save me. Life has become so different after 5 lessons with Ben John and all of you. I now spend more time learning what it means to become a Buddha, aspiring to commit to the 10 virtuous actions and abstaining from the 10 non-virtuous ones. Spending more time caring about my family and friends instead of constantly chonging at work is also a change in priority after the lessons.
Great sharing. So as mentioned in the first session, if we put too much effort or focus on short-term interest, we will lose the long-term benefit. We should do things that will benefit us for the long run and cut away distractions. Seems like Kenny and Nikki have the similar thinking, which is to strive towards the human life of leisure and opportunity. And what a great aspiration, JK. Even though you are still young, but you have a very big heart. Yes, we have to learn everything in order to help others, as different people need different ways to gain happiness and eradicate suffering. Just like the Buddha, with complete wisdom and compassion, he gave us 84,000 ways to cultivate. So next, in the second session, we learn about future life. How does it affect your priorities in life? JK, do you want to try?
Well, Venerable, before I heard of future life, my mind was always focusing on what I want to become and things I want to accomplish in my current present life. I remembered Venerable said to me that how can the living be so confident to say, this person is still too young to die? It sparked the thought that my time is quite limited. As death is certain, our time of death is uncertain. My body is fragile and it is impermanent. We also talk about miserable realms, which Kenny saw at Haupa Villa, and we can easily tell that they went through lots and lots of suffering. Ever since that session, I have reflected on my priorities and noticed that, in fact, many things that I planned to do previously won't actually benefit me in my future life. I might even create the cause of miserable realms because of my inability to differentiate whether I am doing the right or wrong things. I feel that it is better for me to continue to attend Dharma classes, study more, and probably have time to memorize Buddha's teachings while I'm still young and with good memory, so I can probably use it to contemplate and practice in my daily life.
No worries, JK. Just keep learning. It's also very important to contemplate. But how about you, Uncle Nikki?
Then John, I have to say first, what a potential young lad, JK. Mega rejoice to you. As for me, I am looking forward to taking refuge towards the Buddha, so I won't head down to the 3 miserable realms, and take one step at a time to a stronger faith towards the Buddha. After learning some of the teachings, I learned that having a human life of leisure and opportunity is rare. Then, I remember Venerable has mentioned that before, that the percentage of becoming human is very little as compared to the huge amount of beings in the animal realms. For example, there are only 7 billion people as compared to 1 quadrillion ant population. Take note, I only mentioned one type of insect in the animal realm. Now, let's hit a bit deeper. Within 7 billion people, out of so many countries, I find myself so fortunate to be able to live in a country with a certain quality of life. Lastly, to be able to meet the teaching and Venerable in BW Monastery. How about you, Kenny Tan?
For me, it changes the time scale in terms of thinking about life. If there is only one and only one life, we know that it's limited by the average lifespan of a human, assuming that nothing unfortunate happens to you along the way. I would working very hard to ensure that the prime time of my life spent maximizing all the achievements possible, making as much money as possible to secure a good retirement, and going down the never-ending to-dos on my bucket list. It is all about getting all the goodness in life, good wife, nice car, spacious house, and not forgetting all the yummy Singaporean food. My vision is much more short-sighted, and the prioritization only brings more pleasure in this life than nothing more. After knowing about us having future life, I start to wonder what life is really all about. Is there anything that I've planned that's going to benefit me in my next life? And how what I'm currently prioritizing affects my future life? It does look like all the material stuff is not going to follow me upon my death, and all that is left is nothing but the karma I planted. Since this very life is finite, I decided to prioritize more time to learn about Buddhism instead of purely focusing on making more money, having more physical possessions. It helps me to be less greedy, where I'm more chill when it comes to chasing the new car or technology. More time is also spent with my family and friends as I become more appreciative of their kindness towards me. All in all, I should say that my priority neither now points towards everlasting happiness compared to instant gratification.
Hmm. Do you guys remember that we talked about death is certain? Our lifetime cannot be extended and constantly decreasing. Also, our of death is uncertain. There are too many factors that cause death. I'm sure all of you know that our human body is fragile and that one single virus can be a cause of our own death. Then we move on to the future life. We will be born in the six realms, which are two categories, happy and miserable realms. So in the happy realms, we have deity, demigod, and us humans. On the other hand, in the miserable realms, we have animals, hungry ghosts, and hell beings who are constantly suffering. So if we are managing our time, we shouldn't limit ourselves to do things only for just this life alone. For the next question, do you think we need anyone to help us to achieve what we plan to do in our life? JK.
Hmm. Well, definitely yes, Venerable. I can totally relate in school, as without my school teachers to teach and my classmates to guide me, I won't be able to clear my examinations and homework. So in episode 3, Venerable mentioned about the potter shaping a fine clay, which the teacher in school is like the potter, and I am the clay, and eventually shaping a nice pot to be displayed in the museum. But I may sometimes feel that it is through my own self-learning, as my school projects are actually done through my own research. However, I won't be able to tell if the information is reliable, and the more sources I find, there will be contradictions at times. And as such, I have to decide mainly based on my assumptions, which may have inaccuracies. Without a teacher, I'll be so lost. Even such simple stuff in school can result in achieving bad grades without a teacher's guidance. How are we so confident to say that we do not need someone to help us to achieve our goals that will affect our entire life or even our future life? I believe Kenny has shared before that a lot of people have helped him throughout his life. I think he will have a better idea on this question.
Yes, some of you might have recalled my life journey where I thank many people who helped me along the way. I would not say that it is a must to have someone help us achieve what we do in our life, but having that someone makes our journey less painful and saves us a lot of wasted time. Especially when it comes to things that we are unfamiliar with. For example, how to be a successful entrepreneur, to becoming a neurosurgery doctor. Having this experienced person who can share with you a roadmap on how to get from nothing to being the person you like to be differentiates you from the masses. You have a much higher probability of reaching your goal compared to one without anyone guiding you. As for my plan to secure a better future human life of leisure and opportunity, without anyone, in this case, Buddha or the Buddha's teaching, there is no way in my ability or knowledge to crack the password of this cyclic existence lock. I find myself much fortunate to have met the teachings where it guides me step by step. understanding concepts from infinite lives, 6 realms, karma, taking refuge, compassion. But most importantly, that by learning from Buddha, I can become Buddha too. Isn't that exciting? I cannot imagine figuring out the roadmap myself, much less having the confidence of figuring my way forward without someone guiding me. How about Uncle Nicky? As someone who is a self-taught entrepreneur owning many coffee shops today, he might have an opposite view.
I am flattered instead. I actually own many stores, but all in one coffee shop. To be honest, I don't consider myself as a self-taught entrepreneur. Along the way to working my goal towards opening my one and only coffee shop is through the guidance of experienced coffee shop owners. Even my formula of making tea or coffee also comes from experienced baristas who know what the customer really wants. As mentioned earlier by JK, it made me realize that I relied on a teacher that can also mean an experienced person. I believe such experienced person have some great qualities among the 10 qualities that Venerable has mentioned before. Understand myself very well. I learn best from people, seeing how people do things through observing their way of doing things. Therefore, throughout my life, I am the kind of person who needs experienced people to help me to achieve my plan successfully. Venerable, is it the good karma that Kenny and I have planted in the past? That is why I'm able to meet people who are willing to help us.
Yes, of course. Having a teacher is very important, but relying on any teacher at all is not good enough. You must rely on one who can teach the whole path. Someone who only have a few good qualities, for example, being extremely kind-hearted, may not be capable of teaching the whole path. Even though the student may have a lot of faith, wisdom, and perseverance, if the teacher has not fully mastered the teaching, and the student will waste their whole human life practicing just a few things. The student apportioned rebirth will not be made meaningful. You must therefore rely on a fully qualified teacher. So the qualities of teacher will determine the speed of you reaching your destination. All of us want to reach our goal as fast as possible. When you're looking for one teacher, the teacher should have 10 qualities. You all can check out episode 3 for more information. So, why do you think we can achieve our goal?
Well, look at Van John. Look at the virtuous friends that we have around us and our great teacher, Buddha, who has already reached the destination. Fortunately, at BW Monastery, we have a pure lineage of teachings that can be traced back to Buddha. And with guidance from our gurus, a strong Sangha community, and a good group of virtuous friends that are working on the same path, it makes this journey more realistic. Through sharing by my friends in this community, I get to learn about how others applied Dharma in their lives and became a happier person. Through the diligence of the Sangha community and their discourses, I see that many monks have already and are progressing on the path towards Buddhahood. They are able to learn vastly and understand deeper on a wide range of Buddha scriptures, but at the same time guide you on how it can be used in our lives. I also find that as with many things in life, once you truly understand the benefits and faults of something, with enough contemplation through a wide range of reasoning, one can come to the conviction and change their life entirely. Through learning from our guru with the guidance of Sangha, such as Venjon, and discussing widely in class, I come to realize a lot of blind spots in my thinking, and this helps me notice what I should work on to change and become a happier person. For my goal of securing a future life of leisure and opportunity, in my current class, we learn extensively on what are the karmic seeds that need to be planted, as well as a person's journey from a novice to Buddhahood. With such clarity and guidance from our gurus, I'm sure that my goal is achievable.
Wow, Kenny, that's a very nice sharing. I'm totally agree with you. I'm glad to be part of this community. It is a place that keeps me in check and at the same time plants the right coming seeds towards achieving our common goal. This community can provide me with the direction to what I should do in the future. One thing I remembered that is said by Venerable, which is to be mindful of my words and not to be influenced easily by others, especially while in a conversation. I've seen some of my classmates who love gossiping experience the loss of friendship and trouble getting along with others, while harsh words can be quite unpleasant for others as well. So, by doing things that will cause suffering to others, based on the law of karma, I will experience much more suffering in the future. Remember the four principles of karma: the certainty of karma, the magnification of karma, not experiencing the effects of actions that I did not do, and lastly, the actions I have done do not perish. Eventually, by not committing such non virtuous actions, I will be able to stay in this community, and with this community, I'm confident that it will help me achieve my goal.
Wow. JK, as impressive as always, the wise one at such a young age. Okay, coming back to my new goal in getting a better rebirth. I think I'm pretty confident of achieving it. I have to thank my kids, Larry, Joshua, and Weijen, for motivating me to find out more about BW Monastery that eventually led me to take up a class. With the repetition of heading to class, I am constantly upgrading my wisdom from the teachings and keeping myself in check to practice the 10 virtuous actions along with Kenny Tan and JK. I believe the community is important as I think that a part of who I am is the friends I choose to be with, especially my best buddy in class, Uncle Jim. He replies to all my messages when I have questions that pop out in my mind while revising the teachings. Through observing him, he is really loving and concerned towards the community because I am sure he shows loving concern to the whole class. That is why everyone is happy to know him as a virtuous friend. Shout out to you, Uncle Jimmy. Got time? Come to my coffee shop and drink kopi together, okay? I'll personally brew coffee for you. I'm sure my kids will be happy to serve you since you took great care of me. Ben John, I am glad that I'm not doing the 10 non-virtuous actions as I did very often before.
Yes. So speaking of the 10 non-virtuous actions, what are the benefits of not doing them? Let's have a short recap. If we never kill, we will have good health. If we never steal, we will not lose our things easily. If we never commit sexual misconduct, our partner will be faithful to us, and we will not have any family problems. If we don't lie, gossip, scold others, or even say nonsense, people will take our advice and take the things that we say seriously. They will accept what we say and respect us. And of course, the law of karma, as mentioned by JK. First, the certainty of karma. What you do, you will experience. Second, the magnification of karma. Just like planting an apple seed, it will grow into an apple tree. It can produce up to 800 apples per year. Third, not experiencing the effects of actions that you did not do. In order to get something, you have to put in the effort to plant the seed. And last but not least, the action you have done will not perish. Once you did it, good or bad, you have to experience it unless you did something to stop it. So moving forward, how will all that you have learned in this series impact your life?
Ben John, I would like to answer this first. No doubt, my journey throughout this series brings up my curiosity in the teachings. A short span in learning the teachings, my life has improved with constant practice of virtuous action. My relationship with my Kopi buddies, family, kids, and the store owners have improved as I can provide them some happiness in their life. Even with my age, this builds my self-confidence to continue learning the teachings with constant reminders to myself. My aspiration of being able to be as wise and compassionate like the teacher and Buddha. This constant reminder allows me to have better control of my mind when things do not go the way I wanted. My deepest gratitude to Venerable for giving me a wonderful opportunity to have a deeper insight of the teachings in the VenTalk sessions. Come, Kenny Tan, let us hear from you.
Wow, Van John. I must say that this series is like a 6-lesson crash course on Buddhism. It made me realize there is so much more to life than what we learn through academics or the working world. When one is clear and certain about karma, less afflictions arise during unpleasant events, as I now know that it is a past seed that has come to fruition, and I should refrain from planting another bad seed by controlling my body, speech, and mind. I changed my definition of a meaningful life after understanding that life does not just end when I die. With the possibility of falling into the miserable realms, I should invest more time. Yes, invest, just like financial investing. Spending more time learning about Dharma, which gives us more confidence in terms of securing a future life of leisure and opportunity. Another shocking discovery would be the need to have wisdom together with compassion. If I'm overly focused on being compassionate, I might end up 越帮越忙 or doing something that I thought I helped the person, but in the end, it caused them more suffering. It motivates me to gain more wisdom through actively attending all my Dharma classes and knowing the truly right way of helping people.
Wow, what a significant change for Uncle Nicky and Kenny. I do agree that this 6-episode series is really like an eye-opener. In the past, I would always search online for information that I am curious about, not realizing that I may be getting the wrong information on a particular object, as not all the information is as accurate as I thought. If such a habit is being applied in learning Buddhism, it will be quite dangerous because the information I research without the help of proper lineage masters, gurus, and the Sangha community, which I could trace directly to Buddha, may actually lead me against achieving Buddhahood. Another takeaway is the idea of how fragile my body is. Even though I'm still young and how lucky I am to have this life of leisure opportunity, I want to keep learning and make full use of it and work towards enlightenment that can completely remove all sufferings and gain ultimate happiness. Last session, we talked about compassion and wisdom. Venerable quoted the example of the doctor telling that I have cancer, so I will actually feel suffering when I have a selfish mind. In other words, I do not have the wisdom to react to it. But with wisdom, I can see it as an opportunity to practice compassion through experiencing cancer for others. With such empowerment to help others, I will be so happy, even though I might die early, as Venerable shared with us that we will have incredible inner peace, happiness, and satisfaction for doing such a meaningful act. As such, even gain bodhicitta. After all, learning Buddhism really changes the way I think and look at things, and I feel less suffering when negative things happen in life. Really grateful to have attended classes in BW Monastery, to have met Van John, and virtuous friends. Let's work together and gain the ability to help everyone achieve ultimate happiness in the shortest time possible.
Yes, very happy to spend time with you guys. This is a very special class. We come from all walks of life, but yet we can connect with each other so well. Hopefully, we can develop the spirit of enlightenment, where we have both loving kindness and compassion for all the beings. So, what is loving kindness? Loving kindness involves the motivation for happiness. You want to give beings around you happiness, while compassion involves the motivation to reduce suffering. When you see beings suffering, you hope you can take away their suffering. So, for example, if we are being scolded, instead of returning with harsh words, we quietly and mentally take on ourselves the anger of the person scolding us, as well as the anger and suffering of all sentient beings. We can think, may all their delusion and suffering ripen on me right now, in destroying my self-cherishing mind. May they receive wisdom and compassion and happiness. In this way, we straightway turn the anger directed at us on the path to enlightenment. Not only do you stop yourself from committing the 10 non-virtuous actions, in this case, anger, harsh speech, or even hurting others up to the point of killing them, you turn it into love and peace. So, do you all have anything else to say?
Yes, Venerable. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Gurus, Buddha, and of course Venerable, and of course the virtual friends who I met in this VenTalk session, and of course thank you too, the audience who supported us throughout this whole journey of VenTalk, for tuning in to PCWAM, the perfect compassion, wisdom, and might. With this episode, we have come to the end of the series. Hope to see you at our future VenTalk, and happy advance birthday to myself.
Bye bye.